My plan was to get up early this morning and go find a place in Titusville, park there, hang out, wait for the launch. Turns out it was scrubbed. Before I could do any of that, my rental car would not start. I've spent the rest of the day since 9 o'clock. It is now 5:15, getting a new rental car. So, yeah, that all sucked.
Apologies for jumping all the way to the end. You might be wondering how I got there. I kind of hit the high points. Anyway, bad things do happen while you're traveling. Here's the rest of my story. As many of you may know, I went to Florida at the beginning of September to see the SLS rocket. The first launch attempt was on August 29th, which was unsuccessful, and I actually thought even the second and third launch attempts that were scheduled for September 3rd and 5th, that was a little bit unlikely in my mind, but you never know. However, things beyond my control intervened. My rental car decided to crap out on the morning of September 3rd. This was Labor Day weekend, after all, for the launch, which was scheduled for something like 2:30 on Saturday the 3rd. And the car told me it had a key error. What would you do? Well, I went to Google and I did a little Google search and came up with some troubleshooting things for a Nissan key error, none of which worked, which then led me to Enterprise Customer Service and Roadside Assistance. I called them sometime around 9 in the morning. They then told me they would dispatch a tow truck, and shortly thereafter I got a text from a tow truck company saying, "We're on our way, we'll be there in, 30 minutes." These tow truck companies apparently are dispatched out of Orlando. So whether they have a full staff, whether they are just super busy, I never did really find out, but one after another canceled on me. I believe Smyrna Beach is just too far away from Orlando. The juice was not worth the squeeze, as they say, and therefore I was more or less stranded all day in Smyrna Beach, which, you know, when you're waiting for a tow truck company and you have to let them into the parking garage, you really can't go do anything. One thing I forgot to record here, one of the tow truck companies called me and said if I offered them an additional incentive, i.e. money, they might be able to make it a little bit sooner. Yeah, so I have to bribe you to get you to do your job? Not today, especially since the launch was scrubbed and it didn't really matter anymore. But I thought I'd mention that. Be careful out there. Finally, late in the afternoon, the tow truck finally did arrive. By this time, the SLS launch had been scrubbed, so thankfully I didn't actually miss the rocket launch. Enterprise was very accommodating and told me I should head up to Daytona Beach International Airport, and the Enterprise office there had plenty of rental cars. Turns out when I get to the Enterprise rental car in Daytona Beach, I get the last rental car available. So corporate and the local office didn't communicate very well. Worked out for me because I got the last rental car, this lovely Dodge Ram pickup.
Allie at the rental car desk here in Daytona Beach was awesome. She's very helpful, and I appreciate her very, very much. Everybody on the roadside assistance calls were very, very nice as well.
I did get to see a rocket this weekend. On the 4th of September, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9, I believe it's a Starlink mission. I had some camera issues, but here is at least something of a rocket story.
So at the moment it's really dark. Starlink is scheduled to launch at 10:07, and I believe with my naked eye I can actually see like what looks like some spotlights shining up into the air a little bit down that way where I'm putting the camera. There's a lot of people out here. I don't know if any of them will show up, but tons of people out here. The number of unsupervised preteens and teens continues to shock me, as does the language that they use. naked eye, it is super bright. It's not focusing, so.
Are watching Falcon 9 accelerate spaceflight's Sherpa LTC-2 and our Starlink satellites out into space.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
And great call out so far. Supersonic means that the vehicle is traveling faster than the speed of sound.
XQ.
Engine cut off from MECO. Stage separation and SES-1 or second stage.
Chill has started.
Second stage engine start 1.
It's coming
and that will be followed shortly by the fairing deploy. Again, that is MECO stage separation and SES-1 followed by fairing deploy coming up in just about 20 seconds or so from now. MECO is where all 9 of the M1D engines that you're seeing on your screen shut down in preparation for stage separation.
So that was MECO.
And then about a minute or so afterwards will be the final burn, which is the landing burn. That's a single engine burn on that first stage.
The entry burn. Oh, how cool.
My lesson, stay calm, be patient, and it'll all work out in the end. It did on this trip. Thanks for watching today. If you have any questions or comments about problems while traveling, please post them below. And if you watched this long, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the reminder bell, and I will share all my future travels, good and bad. Mostly good, though. I have good travels. Anyway, thanks again, and happy travels.